who should present, but then the first presenter, Gong Ao, okay, not available, okay, because having family matters, some urgent matters, okay. So we only have 4, okay. The first presenter will be San Jin Woo. When we have Akta, we have New, and then we have Ji Utang, right? Okay, so all of you, okay, you are given 5 minutes, okay, to present your research proposal, okay, and then we, the audience, okay, we will have 10 minutes, okay, after the presentation, okay, to ask questions, okay, or to give suggestion or improvements, okay, on the proposal. So if any one of you who would like to ask questions or give suggestions, okay, after the presentation, okay, I want you to mention your names, okay, so that I know, okay, who actually, right, speaking there, all right, so that I can pick, okay, your name, because it's also counted for your participation, class participation, okay. So the first presenter, is it here?
Hello, Doctor.
All right. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Everyone can hear you. I mean, can hear San Jin Woo so clearly? Because I think, I mean, it's kind of slow here. All right. Let me increase the volume. All right. Okay. So, okay, I already allow you, okay, to share your slides. Okay, can you try it first?
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Doctor. My research topic is employee incentive mechanism influencing employee engagement among manufacturing sectors. And my background of study is engagement is important for companies in Malaysia because it helps reduce turnover in these companies and also makes employees more committed, and it can make the employees more productivity in their companies. And in addition, there have a summary about engagement of Qualtrics, and which is an international professional investigation agency. And the research result is the average employee engagement score across Malaysia is 54%, slightly above the global average of 53%. So the level of the engagement of Malaysian employees is not very high. And similar to global, Malaysia employees engagement raised significantly to 79% when employees' feedback is well received and when tagged on. Otherwise, it fell to 47%. And in addition, the Malaysia's manufacturing sector remains a core sector for sustainable growth under the 11th Malaysia Plan. The manufacturing sector played a vital role in the economic in Malaysia. About the government policy, I can't find the related policy, but here, according to Employee Act of 1955, it states that companies are now forced to take into consideration and the factors of employees before they make decisions so that employees' interests can be protected, which then leads to greater employee engagement as well. And about my context of my research variable, employee engagement is one of those roles which is companies always try to increase so that they can improve the overall performance and productivity of the employees. These factors will also become uh, under the effective incentive mechanism can unify employees' thoughts, concepts, and behaviors. And these factors will also become part of my study. About the program statement, uh, the, uh, the, the program is the score of employee engagement in Malaysia is not very high. It's 4 to 47 when feedback is not if acted on. So this is the current program. And why my study is urgent and important. The first of all, I researched the current literature. There are some scholars who study incentive mechanism, but the research object is very few in manufacturing industry. The secondly, I think the manufacturing sector industry has a great impact on the Malaysian economy. So I choose this sector. And the reason for the research on this subject is because employee engagement is becoming extremely important for organizations that are looking to promote performance. Finally, because of the current pandemic, the behavior of many people has been affected. Corresponding employees' engagement will be affected, and the intensive mechanism will improve employees' engagement. So this is why I choose this topic. And about the research objectives, uh, one point is my research questions is how is intensive mechanisms related to employee engagement? And the 2 point is what is the demographic destination of the study? 3 point is what is the correlation levels between the two variables? Last one is what is the strength of the relationship between the variables? This is my definition of terms. The employee the operational of employee engagement is defined as a level of interaction which is taking place between the individual and the organizations. Employees engagement in its study focuses on task empowerment, balance and benefits, promotion, and as well as employee pay. And the operational incentive mechanism is a structure in which the intensive subject system use a varieties of intensive methods to interact with the intensive object and restrict each other in the organizational system. And the factors are the same as the these 4 factors. About the theory, about the DV, I use the Kahn's dimensions of employee engagement theory. His theory is Kahn's works has blended. Sorry. Kahn's works has widened human resources practiced beyond simple motivation techniques to more holistic approaches to employees' engagement. My DV and his research direction are similar. He used employees' engagement driver theory, so I think his theory is helpful to my study. And about the IB, I use Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. His theory expresses people's self-needs through 5 levels. When many business managers formulate intensive measures, they will implement them in different stages according to Maslow's theory and survive good results. In fact, so I take this theory as my theory support. This is Powell's studies. And a study on some employee engagement topic. And this is my AV of Harvard's studies. I found the 3 points from the payment and promotion and empowerment and how to improve the engagement. This is my research framework. The IV includes 4 points, and DV is employee engagement. My population, simple, choose a manufacturing sector works in Malaysia, and my simple size is 160. And my instrument is questionnaire. Thank you, teacher.
All right. Okay, thank you. Okay, Sun. All right. So we will go from one slide to one slide, yeah? Okay, I know that, okay, this is the first presenter, so I think I will spend a little bit of time here, okay? And then hopefully that after this, okay, everybody will not actually doing the same thing that I comment, okay, on these first presentations, okay? So before I start my comment, okay, anyone would like to start? Do you have any, what is your comment, okay, on Sun Jin Moore, okay? Do I pronounce your name right? Okay, what should I call you? Yes, what should I call you? Sun?
Teacher,
Yes, yeah, okay, all right. So anyone would like to start, okay? Asking question? Okay, you look at your topic first.
Okay.
Okay, if it's according to this, okay, topic, all right, okay, can you detect what kind of study is this? Everyone. Can you detect what kind of study is this? If it's just based on the title.
Experimental.
Experimental? Why is it that you say it's experimental?
I think because the keyword there is influencing.
All right. Okay, other people?
Relationship.
Is it
Relationship.
correlation? Sorry, doctor. Correlation?
Correlation. Okay, yes. Okay, relationship. That's right. Okay. Anyone would like to try? No? Okay. If it's according to this topic, yeah. Okay. This is actually relationship studies. Okay. When I look at it, okay. For me, it's relationship studies. Okay. Most probably, when it comes to the topics, okay. You might be want to start with relationship. Okay. Relationship of employee incentive mechanism. Okay. And employee engagement. Okay. Among manufacturing sectors. What do you mean by among manufacturing sectors? Who actually that? Okay, your respondent.
My respondent is the manufacturing sector workers.
Okay, so it's among the workers.
And I checked the
It's among the workers in manufacturing sector.
yes.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
information here have 2.55 million manufacturing sector workers in Malaysia.
All right. Okay. So if that is the case, then your topic, okay, it must be clear. Okay, it must be clear there. All right. So I think you might want to change it. Okay. Can you just show me the first slide, please? Okay. The topic, the first slide on the topic. This is the background. Where is the topic? Yes, here. Okay. Here might be you want to change it. Relationship. Okay. Between employee incentive. Okay. Mechanism and okay. I'm not sure about that word mechanism. Okay, I want you to check on that one. Okay, and employee engagement. Okay, among workers in manufacturing sectors in Malaysia. Are you focused the whole Malaysia? Are you only focused on certain states? Are you focused on Malaysia or are you focused on certain states?
I focus on Malaysia.
Malaysia meaning what does it mean by you say you want to focus on Malaysia? You mean you don't want to focus on workers in manufacturing sectors in Malaysia? So which state actually that you will be focusing on? All the state in Malaysia?
Yes, I'm staying in Malaysia now.
All state in Malaysia? Are you gonna collect your data in all state in Malaysia?
I don't research.
Because we in Malaysia, we have more than 10 states. So when you say Malaysia, what do you mean there, Malaysia? Is it the whole state in Malaysia or you only focus on few states in Malaysia?
Maybe few states.
Maybe few states. Okay, if that is the case, then decide, okay, which state are you focusing on? Maybe you want to look at the zone, yeah? Okay, we have few zones in Malaysia. Okay, maybe you focus on the zone instead of states because state is so big, right? So focus on zone might be. Or you can just focus on one state if you want to. State Selangor, or might be states in federal of Kuala Lumpur, okay? Or you want just to focus on other states in Malaysia. Okay, so you need to be specific when you put your title there.
Okay, I need to write the state.
Yeah, okay. Can we go to the second one? Okay, background of the study. All right, here I can't see, okay, here is actually when you say about the background of the study, this is where actually that you focus on, okay, the workers, the context of the Malaysia, the manufacturing sectors in Malaysia. How is it in Malaysia? Okay, so you put it there, okay, context of your country. Of course, you can just delete, explain your context of study in your country. That is, I put it there is because I want you to explain it, okay, but you don't have to put it as your title there, all right? Relate with government policies, so that's the government policies, okay? Yours is about manufacturing sectors, and how is it relate with PPPM? Or you're not using PPPM? What kind of policies actually that you relate with there? There's no Employing Act 1995? That's the one that you want to focus on?
Yes, because I check the information. I don't find some related policy of PPPM.
All right, okay. So I think, okay, if that is the case, then okay. So you just focus, okay, what is the policy, the relate policy, you just put it there. Employee Act 1995. Okay, what is this act talk about? Okay, that's the one that you need to explain there. Right. Context of your research, okay. Which one is the IV, which one is the DV?
And employee engagement is 90.
Okay,
And,
and IV?
IB is intensive mechanism.
Incentive
and
mechanism.
IB include, yeah.
Okay, incentive mechanism is the IV.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, all right. And then can we go to the next slide, please?
Okay.
Problem statement. Okay, everyone, I want to look at this. Okay, can you actually detect the issues here? Anyone can detect what is the main problem or issues here in this slide?
Is it there is no mentioning for literature to support his problem statement?
Yeah, okay, that is one more thing. Thank you, Noran. Is that Noran, right, just now?
Yes, doctor.
All right, so there is one more thing, okay. Here, okay, you put it as the score of employee engagement is not very high. When you say not very high, what do you mean by not very high here?
Because according to the summary of this agency, agencies talk Malaysia employee engagement. If not, if the feedback is not well received, the employees engagement will fall to 47%.
All right, then put it there, 47%. And where do you get the information from? Quote the information, okay, as an evidence and support, okay, as an evidence and support. All right, so if you just put it is not very high, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, it doesn't mean anything. In what year is the data?
This information is this article is published to 2020.
2020. Okay, and then put it the score of employee engagement in Malaysia in 2020. You state the year. Okay, so that people know, the reader know, everybody know that, okay, this is the latest figure, the latest statistics. All right.
Okay.
Okay, be clear on that one. All right, so justify why your study is urgent. What is it important to be carried out? Few relevant literature. Okay, manufacturing is very important to Malaysia economy, and then the pandemic will affect employee engagement. Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I think combine the background. I mean the improve the employee engagement is important, and that's why I choose the topic on manufacturing sector.
All right. So when you say that, why is it's very important to be carried out? Okay, I already explained it. Okay, you focus on two things here: from the body of knowledge, significance of the studies. Okay, from the body of knowledge. Okay, and the second one is from the practice. Of course, from the body of knowledge, it means that relate with the knowledge. Okay, how your research can actually add to the research that we have here. Okay, and then and then when you mention about, when you focus about the practice, okay, this is where actually that, okay, how is it important to the manufacturing sector? How is it important to the workers? Okay, so you have to explain on that, all right, in your write-up. Of course, okay, when it comes to this these slides, okay, in this presentation, of course, you did not put it there, all right? So I think that's the one that you need to focus on. Okay, and then next slide. Okay. All right, for this slide, okay, I think you can just remove, okay, the second column, okay, because this is actually, I put it there as a sample, an example for you, what you need to have there. And of course, you don't need to put it there in your presentation. You put yours in there, okay, you put yours. You don't have, you need to delete that, okay, when you have yours, then you delete that, all right? So when you look at this question 1, 2, 3, and 4, any comments and these, for this research question, everyone? Do you think it's right?
Doctor, for research question, I think I understand it's because that is from the researcher itself. It's just that the research objective have to have a link with the research question. For research objective here is quite general. Maybe should be more specific, which is related with the research question. I don't know. I think that should be the way.
That's true. Okay, because here you need to put it down. What is your DV there? Okay, the IV and the DV. Okay, as well as when it comes to the question, what is the question there? All right. Here, when I look at your research question, you need to actually change all this. Okay, please double check. Okay, all this. All right. So I already explained it. Okay, when you want to look at this research objective and research question, of course, it's relate between these two. Okay. First of all, when you have IV and DV, this is where actually that, okay, you want to determine the level of IV and DV. So that's the research objective that you must have there. Okay, and then the second one, okay, you want to look at the relationship because your study is relationship. Okay, the objective should be, okay, to determine the relationship between your DV and IV. Okay, don't put it as DV and IV. You spell out what is your DV and spell out what is your IV. Okay, and then when it comes to research question, of course, you need to divide, okay, research objective number 1 to 2 questions because you are actually determine, okay, level IV and level DV, right? So you must have 2 questions there, all right? So the one that you have here, okay, okay, you need to change it. Okay, this is not right. Okay, how is incentive mechanism relate to the employee engagement? Okay, in doing quantitative, you're not, I mean, you can't start, okay, the question with how. Okay, how is for qualitative. Okay, how is for qualitative. And then when your second research question is what is the demographic distribution of the study? You don't measure the demographic distribution. Okay, the demographic distribution is you will explain it. Okay, you don't measure it. Okay, so you don't need that question. Okay, and then the third one, okay, what is the correlation level between the two levels? Okay, this is where you need to have, I mean, is there any significance? Okay, is there any significant? Yeah, is there any significant? Okay, between, okay, the your IV and DV. All right, so this is how the question should be. Okay, and what is the strength of the relationship? Of course, you don't have that question. Once you know, okay, the IV and DV is significant, okay, then only, okay, you look at the table. You remember that I show you the table? Okay, then only you look at the table and see the strength. You did not actually put it there in the research question. What is the strength? Do you understand?
Okay.
Do you get it? What actually did I comment here?
I'm not very clear.
Okay, you can just look at the recorded video, okay, later and try to understand it. Okay, if you still can't understand, okay, you can just contact me personally and we have a discussion on that. All right, can we have the next slide, please? Okay, definition of terms, okay. So here, okay, constitutive. What it means by this constitutive, this is the definition of terms, yeah. Okay, definition of terms. Okay, this is where actually that, okay, you you are actually explain, okay, the definition based from the scholar, according to the scholar. Okay, then in operational, it's your definition in the study. Okay. Operational is defined as the level of interaction what is taking place between the individual and organization. Employee engagement in this study focuses on task empowerment, bonus, benefit, promotion, as well as employee pay. Okay. And then, why is it that you have operational definition the same, your employee engagement and intensive mechanism?
Because I don't find any original definition, so I combine the.
Okay, operational definition is how you measure. How you measure, okay, your IV and DV. Okay, so here, employee engagement in your study, what does it mean? Okay, you give your own definition in the study. Okay, and then the second one, okay, intensive mechanism. Of course, constitutive is just based on the scholar. Operational is where actually in your study, what do you mean by incentive mechanism? Okay, so this is how actually that you should put it there. All right. And when I look at here, okay, that bonus, benefits, promotion, that is incentive mechanism. It is not employee engagement. Employee engagement might have a different dimension, not the same dimension as incentive mechanism. If you have the same dimension, okay, for both, this is wrong. All right. Okay, the next one. Theory, okay, you use Maslow and Kahn dimension. Okay, so here you see that you have the theory is from the Kahn dimension. Okay, from that Kahn dimension, how many dimension for employee engagement?
The Kahn's dimension has 3 dimensions.
Okay, that's the one is your operational definition. You mentioned in this study, okay, the employee engagement is what? Okay, and then according to Kahn, okay, it is measured, okay, based on 3 dimensions. Okay, this is the one that you should or must have in your employee engagement. Okay, just now. Okay, in the table of operational definition just now. Right, number 7. Can I look at the slide number 7, please?
Yes, sure.
Okay. This slide number 7. To study the impact, to study the impact, to study the impact. Okay, when you look at all these literature review, is it related to your study?
Yes, I found this literature.
Is it related to your study? Okay, for question number 1, I mean for the literature review here, the previous study number 1, okay, to study the impact of supervisor feedback on employee engagement. Which research question are actually, okay, you can just refer to based on this literature review.
Okay.
Which one? Research question 1, research question 2, research question 3. Which one? You don't know? Okay, please check, yeah? Please check on that one. All right. Slide number 8. All right, this is the same as well. Okay, this is the same as well. So you need to know, okay, which research question is related, okay, to the research, to the literature review that you have here. Okay, so this is previous study or literature review, okay, on IV, and then number 9, okay, please look at number 9, slide number 9. All right, here you have, okay, name of the IV, spell it out, your IV there. Name of the DV, spell out your DV there. Okay, and then you have, okay, the dimension for the IV. And then for the DV, just now you see it, okay, there's a 3 dimension, right? Okay, put it down there in the box, the 3 dimension of the employee engagement. All right. Okay.
I have a question here.
Yes,
Is it
Raza.
4 dimension or 3 dimension? Like what I see here, like it's like 4.
IV is 3. IV is 4. But for the DV just now, I heard it's 3.
Okay, okay.
Is that right, son?
Oh, yes. Yes, doctor.
All right. Okay. So is that the last slide that you have?
I think the last one is methodology, right?
Oh, okay. All right. So methodology. Okay. This is the one that you need to explain as well. Okay. Your population is workers. Okay. In manufacturing sectors in Malaysia. It's not the manufacturing sectors. Okay. And then how many of them? Population sample. Population. How many of them? This population. You need to know how many of them.
No. As I just mentioned, 2.55 million people.
Okay. What is it again?
2.55 million.
2.55 million. So you're not gonna look at that 2.55 million, right? So in your study, how many population of the workers that you want to study? Okay, this is where I'm asking you just now. Are you referring to the whole Malaysia or only focus on certain state in Malaysia? So when you already know that question, then only you can count how many workers that you want to focus on. From that number, then only you decide, okay, on the sampling size. Okay, how will you come up with 160?
I use I have a formula, and it can calculate the sample size.
Okay, how? How do you come up with it? I can't hear it.
Formula.
Formula. if you don't know the population, how do you calculate and put all the numbers in the formula? All right, please check that one as well. Okay, instrument. Okay, what the name of the instruments that you use? The name of the instrument that you use. What is the name of the instrument? Who is the owner? Okay, the name of the instrument, the owner, and the year.
Reggie and Morgan, I can't remember the years.
Oh, yeah, that one is when you want to actually yes, but I'm asking here about the instrument. Instrument is the questionnaire. The questionnaire, which is the survey. Okay, whose questionnaire that are you using for your research? Okay, the owner and the year. The name of the questionnaire, the owner and the year. So you need to put it down there. Okay, I believe that in this case, in your case here, your study here, you need, okay, to have two instruments. The one that measure IV and the one that measure DV. Okay, so do you already have the questionnaire or the survey or the instrument for this, for your IV and DV?
I have my instrument, Excel.
Excel? Who's the owner of the instrument? What is the name of the instrument, the owner of the instrument, and the year? Do you have the information? No?
Sorry, teacher.
You don't have information. Okay, please check on that one as well. Okay. All right. Okay. So that is on the content. Okay, that is on the content. So I just want to actually comment on your presentation skill as well. Okay, Sun, I think you need to practice a lot, okay, in terms of presentation. Okay, you take so much times, okay, actually, okay, it's more than 10 minutes just now. Okay, this is only 10 slides. Okay, this is only 10 slides that you have. Okay, so I would, I already informed you that you need to present about only 5 minutes for me to get an idea what you will need to do. Okay, so I guess, okay, one thing actually, why is it happen is because you're reading the slide. You're not explaining the slide, you're reading the slide. Okay, so you need to practice on the presentation skill. Okay, in what semester are you now?
This is my fourth semester.
This is the fourth semester, which is the last semester. Okay, have you actually shown your supervisor your proposal?
Yes, I upload my proposal on Dropbox. And
oh, okay. Do your supervisor, okay, already check your proposal, chapter 1 to 3?
Yes.
Yes, okay. No comments on your proposal?
She just check some.
Okay. All right. I think, okay, because based on your presentation here, okay, for me is, okay, a lot of things that you need to do here, okay, to make it everything more details, okay, as well as to clear so many things here, because starting from the topic as well as the research objective, okay. So because for me, all right, when it comes to the research objective and the research question, okay, only on that part, okay, it is not that right, okay, the way you put it, you write it down, okay, so you need to check on that one. Okay, I already comment and give suggestions, okay, on few other slides here, okay, so I want you to go back, okay, look at it again, okay, and think about it, okay. If you don't understand, you let me know so that I can explain it to you. Okay, because it seems like, okay, when I try to explain it to you, you don't really understand what actually that I'm talking about.
Thanks, Doctor. I will check when.
Okay, right. So if you don't understand, then you let me know, yeah?
Okay.
All
thank you,
right.
Doctor.
Okay. So, all right. Before we start on the second presentation, everybody clear actually what you need to do, okay, for the presentation? Any question that you want to ask me? No? No questions? Everybody clear?
Yeah, no questions so far.
All right, okay. Okay, so we have the second presenter here. Okay, we have second presenter, who is Akhtar. Are you here, Akhtar?
Yes, Doctor, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Can you please stop sharing? San, can you please stop sharing first? Okay, wait, yeah, Akhtar. All right, okay. Okay, Akhtar. Okay.
Assalamualaikum, madam.
I think your background sound have to be
It's louder.
louder.
Actually, in a mosque, it is going on. The prayer is going on. That's why.
Oh, is it? Okay, because I'm afraid that we can't hear you. We hear, the background.
I'm sorry, Doctor.
Okay, where are you now? In the mosque?
No, I'm in near mosque of UPM.
I
UPM
see.
mosque.
Okay, all right. Okay, are you in your house, in the room?
Yes, I'm in the room, but my room is near the window.
I see. Okay, all right.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Hello, everyone. My name is Aisha Akhtar, and my topic name is the factor affecting the implementation of communicative language teaching CLT at secondary school in Bangladesh. The background of this study: communicative language teaching. Actually, Bangladesh government has changed communicative language teaching from 1997 to show the world that we can learn the English and to achieve more capability in English language and develop the English language curriculum. The implementation of Bangladesh English teaching applied through various skills, like 4 skills of English language. It is also self-teaching technique built up in Western countries, and this curriculum actually used in Western countries, but Bangladesh has implemented it for better communication skill development and language learning. And our national program is National Educational Policy 2010, that Education Act. English has recognized as a official language there for the education. Like each and every level, there should be an English language course. An influential factor like communicative competence, teacher CLT knowledge, local cultural elements in the textbook, demographic educational system, and demographic profile of teachers are independent variable in my research, and the implementation of CLT is my dependent variables. And this population and my population will be the teachers teaching in secondary level in Bangladesh, Dhaka city. Especially, I'm going to focus on Dhaka city. Problem statement. Recently, Bangladesh has changed its English language teaching program from traditional grammar translation method to CLT, which is more modern and most appropriate for the modern times. But when it is implemented in government, school and college, they face a lot of problems. That problem caused due to our environmental change, due to our social, our economical factors, and it's create a lot of problems to implement the CLT program in Bangladesh. And the previous study shows that academic and governmental focus on curriculum development, but not on the process of teaching and implementation of CLT. The CLT implementation will remain vague. It will not be effective if this sector is not well researched and not find out the problem, critical problem. Where is the problem and what is the reason that we are still failing to implement the curriculum effectively in Bangladesh? If this sustain in our country, then our English language teaching will face a lot of problem. That's why our higher education and the future of the nation can be damaged. That's why it is very urgent to investigate this problem. For research objectives, I have 6 objectives actually. I don't know why it's not seeing that. Okay. I have 5 objectives and 6 variables. The objective number 1 is to investigate the effect of communicative competence on CLT implementation. And the question is, what is the effect of communication competence on CLT implementation? In this way, I have 5 objectives to 5 questions regarding CLT implementation in Bangladesh. An operational definition. DV is a CLT implementation in Bangladesh. In this research, CLT implementation means implementing the main teaching learning system of CLT for CLT communicative competence. As a result, a goal in CLT to allow learners to use the language in a communicative circumstances to meet their needs in real life contact. And IV, from the IV, communicative competence. A language uses linguistics, understanding of grammar, morphology, phonology, etc., to use it in actual life communication, and that teaches CLT knowledge, that how the teachers understand the CLT program and what sort of knowledge they have in their content. Local cultural element, that means in the textbook, how much local cultural element we have to enhance the teaching and learning process of English language. Then educational system. In this research, I will indicate that the country's whole educational setup, like environment, building facilities, technological facilities, that sort of things. And demographic profile of the teachers, it has also impact on teaching and learning. So what is the demographic, like age, experience, teachers believe, their training, how it is influence the teaching and learning of CLT in Bangladesh. Theory, former dependent variable and independent variable. I have language management theory. Language management theory is proposed by News 2P 1994, and it is stated that this theory believes that before implementing any language curriculum, every language problem should be examined and solved. That means before implemented everything, we should know the problems and we should critically analyze them and find out the problem and address that problem to sort out, and then we will implement the language curriculum effectively. Then this is the previous studies. From question 1, what is the effect of communicative competence on CLT implementation? I have 3 literature, like Mart in 2018 is a review article where he find that communicative competence increased English language learning ability. And Kalkas in 2020, his respondent were 200 students. Intercultural and various communicative competence impact language learning, he found that. And Savignon 2080s, his respondent were teachers. They found that communicative competence English language learning ability. Then previous question for 2, what extent teacher CLT knowledge has effect on CLT implementation? Here Richard 2017 is a review article, and they found that language proficiency can really help the CLT learning. And Ray says that his respondents were teachers, and teachers' knowledge was extremely helpful in their teaching in the classroom. And Hussein 2008 is in Bangladesh, his respondent was 350 teachers and students. They found that language proficiency of language teachers and their ability to teach and talk in the classroom can really influence the teaching and learning of English language. Then the question number 3, what types of effect the local cultural element has on CLT implementation? Here we say step O no. His respondent were 50 students. He finds that cultural elements is very important to teach and learn English language. And Mazuliana, 2018, he also has 100 students, and he also finds the same things. And Islam essay in Bangladesh, and his respondent were teachers and students. He found that cultural issues are really influential in teaching and learning of English language. Then question number question number 4. Pradhan, question number 4. What is the effect of educational system on CLT implementation? Pradhan, 2016, his researchers was a school student, and he find that educational system is very important role playing in CLT implementation. And Hope, 2018, he has surveys on 100 teachers. He said that education system like facilities building ICT plays an important role. And Rahman Aitel, 2019 review article, he find that lack of good educational system can create a lot of problems in CLT implementation in Bangladesh. And previous question number 5, what is the effect of teachers' demographic profile on CLT implementation? And Don Santos, 2018, his respondents are 5 teachers. He says that experience increased teaching quality. And Asadi, he was 30, he's responded by 32 pre-service teachers, and he found that training improved teaching abilities. And Santos deeming well, he's also a review article. He says that teachers' personal beliefs influence their classroom management, teaching style, and instructional features. And this is my research framework. I have 5 IV, and here in my right side is 1 DV, CLT implementation in Bangladesh. I also have 5 hypotheses for that. And methodologies. In research design, I will use quantitative methods and cross-sectional study. And my population sample is 11,000 English language teachers in Dhaka city. And my sample size will be 332. According to Cohen, 2000, he says that when the address sheet, the sample size is bigger and unlimited, then we can choose 372 to represent the whole section. And sampling technique, we will follow non-probability sampling, especially convenience sampling, because we will choose the Dhaka division only. An instrument, the question of this study will be adopted from Nuri 2018, that was produced by Lee in 1998. And 5 Likert scale will be used to analyze it. And pilot study, for my pilot study, I will use 50 teachers. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you. Okay, Atta. All right, so any questions? Okay, for Atta? Can you show me your first slide, Atta? The title? All right. Okay. Any question? Everyone, for the title? Is the title is okay? What do you think of the title?
IV and DV is not clear.
IV and DV is not clear. Okay. Can you please explain how many, where is the IV and DV in this topic, Akhtar?
Actually, the factor affecting, they are my IVs. In that factor affecting, I have 5 divisions, like communicative competence, local cultural elements, teacher CLT knowledge, and others 2 things is like,
yeah. Okay. The DV,
yeah. So I understand. Yeah.
I think it's very clear there. Yeah.
Okay. So it is just that because there's so many factors, okay, in this Akhtar study, so she can't actually spell out everything in the title, in the topic, I mean the title here, okay, because I think might be what you need, Akhtar, is instead of factors affecting, okay, maybe you put selected factors affecting or influencing, okay, affecting, influencing, okay, the implementation of CLT, okay, at secondary schools in Bangladesh. Okay, because Bangladesh is big. Okay, this is the same just now. Bangladesh is big. So are you actually focused on the district, focused on the state?
Actually, I'm using Dhaka city. That is our capital city. I will focus on Dhaka capital city.
So if that is the case, then spell out that in the title. Okay, in Dhaka capital city. So from there, okay, we know that okay, your focus is only in Dhaka. It's not the whole Bangladesh.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, all right. So that is the one. All right. So that's my comments. Okay, when it comes to the topic. Okay. Second slides. Okay, on the background of the study. All right. Background of the study. This is where actually you explain about what is it in Dhaka, right?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, this when it comes to English, okay, when it comes to the CLT implementation. So here, this is where actually that you should mention the change from the traditional method to the CLT. So it should be here in the background of the study. Okay, you should explain that in the background of the study whereby there's been change, okay, from the traditional, okay, to the CLT, okay, especially in Bangladesh. So it will be clear in the background of the study, okay, so that okay, there's a change there. Then only it will relate with the problems. Okay. All right. Slide number 3. Okay. So recently, CLT has been introduced in Bangladesh to build better English language. This is all in background of the study. You explained it there. Okay. So the main focus here when it comes to the problem is what's wrong with the implementation? What's wrong with the CLT implementation? What is the issues of the CLT implementation? So that's the focus. Okay, so that is the focus. All right, here, I guess the one that you have is, which one is the issues?
Issues is here CLT implementation. So it is creating a lot of problem when we have shift from grammar translation method to CLT. It's create a lot of problems. And what is the problems? Government didn't identify it. So from various articles,
if that is the problem, is there any literature review that support the issues?
Yes, doctor, there is a lot of literature.
Okay, so you just put down, okay, or you what you need in your slide is what is the problem, okay, and then in bracket, okay, literature review that support the issues or problem. All right, okay. All right, so in this background of statement, it's not about explaining again, okay? This is about straight away explain what is the problem, because whatever is going on, the implementations that you mentioned, the changes and everything, it should be in the background of the study. All right, okay. The next slide, okay, number 4. Okay, so all right. So I want everyone to look at this research question. What is your comment here in this research question? Any comment?
I think number 2 is to examine.
Asta, can you please mute? Can you please mute for a while so that we can hear? I mean, your friends talking. Just for a while. Okay. Can you please?
Madam, doctor, can you mute me because I'm.
All right. Okay. Yes, Raza. Okay.
I think for number 2, to examine the effect of teachers' CLT knowledge on CLT implementation. I'm very interested on this because I do understand about it. But something that is that remains a bit vague to me is number 1, 3, 4, and 5. So
why is it 1, 3, and 4, and 5, Raza?
Because number 1, to investigate the effect of communicative competence on CLT, to investigate the effect. So the research question here says, what is the effect of communication? I just couldn't see.
Is it in line with the topic that Akta is doing?
This is quite big. is quite vague, but I think Aisha is trying she's trying to link that with the topic, but quite not successful, I guess, because for me, I don't know about others because I can't really get it.
Okay. Anyone would like to comment? Okay. For Aisha, you call her Aisha. Okay. Aisha, anyone would like to comment before I actually explain it to all of you? Can you detect anything? Is this right? Look at the verbs. Is this, I mean, some of it, I think it is not the right verbs that you have here. Okay, can you detect which verbs actually?
Doctor, I think it's to explore more to qualitative research.
That's
Doctor.
true. To investigate as well, number one, to investigate. Okay, to investigate as well as qualitative, not suitable for quantitative. Okay, Aisha, okay, because your study, it's about factors, okay, influencing the CLP implementation, okay, and then you have, okay, 5 factors, all right? So the first question should be, okay, to determine the level of all the factors. Okay, determine the level of all the factors. And the second question, most probably, okay, to actually examine the relationship, okay, of every IV, the one that you have, IV1 to, okay, all the IV to the DV. Okay, and the third one, because this is, your research is about factors influencing. So here, to determine contribution of the selected factors towards the DV. Okay, Aisha, do you understand it?
Yes, doctor.
Alright, so I think
I'm okay.
Alright, okay. So I think, okay, you only focus on that 3 objective. And then when you spell out, I mean, when you do your research question, of course, you have to break it down, okay, and then one by one, okay. It is just one more thing here, okay. For me, 5 factors is too many for MED. I'm not sure, you just discuss with your supervisor. If your supervisor say 5, then just follow whatever your supervisor said. If it's me, okay, since you are MED, yeah, okay, so to have that 5 factors, I think that is a lot. Okay, that is a lot. I would suggest that might be you only focus on 3, okay, instead of just looking at 5, okay. Why is it? Okay, why is it? It's because, okay, can I look at your conceptual framework? Conceptual framework. Okay. All right. This is the conceptual framework. Okay. So don't forget the arrow, please. Yeah. Okay. You need to have the arrow here. So here, okay, when it comes to communicative competence, okay, and then you have teacher's knowledge, and then you have culture, okay, and then you have education system, and then you have demographic profile. For number 1, number 2, and number 3, okay, for these 3, okay, I believe that there's a measurement to measure this variable. Okay, but how about number 4 and number 5? Okay, is there a questionnaire which actually measure education system? Okay, so how are you actually looking at, do you want to measure education system? Is that right, to measure education system? Okay, and then teachers demographic profile. I don't think you need to measure teachers academic profile. Okay, if you want to measure teachers academic profile, how do you want to do it to measure teachers academic profile? Okay.
Okay, doctor.
I want you to look at it again. Okay, to look at it again and try to actually think of, okay, because when you have that as variable, you need to think of on how to measure it. Okay, you can't actually simply put it there as variables and suddenly you don't know on how to measure. Okay, whenever that you have that as a variable, you need to think how I want to measure that variable, how I want to measure that IV, how I want to measure that DV. Okay, so this is very important. For example, like educational system. Is that how do you want to measure education system? Okay, so can you measure education system? Okay, so this is one question. Yeah, right. I actually feels that okay, you don't measure education system. All right, and teachers demographic profile, you don't measure teachers demographic profile. Okay, what actually that you measure? I mean, of course, you need to know who are they, how many years of experience in teaching. Okay, do they have training in DCLT or not? Of course, you need all that information, but you don't measure it. Okay, you don't measure it. Right. So if you want,
Doctor,
yes.
Doctor, actually, why teachers demographic profile is here added? Because in Bangladeshi school, most of the teachers, like 60% teachers, they don't have training program. They never attend any teachers education, but they just entered in the educational system. So is their training, their knowledge, even a teachers from mathematics background can teach English language. So is their teachers knowledge, their personal profile, like their experience can really create problem or create advantages. That's why it is important, I think.
Okay, it is important, but how do you want to measure it? Because you are doing quantitative here. When it comes to quantitative, you need to think about the measurement. Okay, how do you want to measure demographic profile of teachers? Okay, for me, it's demographic profile. You don't measure it. Okay, but if you have a way on how to measure it, okay, so you just check whether that is a valid measurement. Okay, that you have. All right, so probably okay, what you need is actually, I mean, of course, you can look at the difference. Okay, for those who have training and for those who have not training. This is what usually we have demographic profile to look at. Okay, the difference between okay, two groups might be groups A with the training, groups B without the training. But in your case, okay, you want to look at whether those teachers who have training probably okay, can have a really good, I mean, when it comes to the implementation, it's much better than those who have not training. Okay, but I'm worried about how you want to measure it. Okay, so I want you to check on that one. Okay, the measurement, right? So because for the competence, for the knowledge, okay, for the culture, okay, there's a lot of questionnaire actually can measure these three variables. But when it comes to education system, when it comes to teachers demographic profile, I'm not sure whether is there any questionnaire or instruments that can measure these two variables. All right. Okay. What else here? Okay, just now I stopped at slide number what just now? All right. So it's about the questionnaire, right? Okay, it's about the questionnaire. So for the literature review, so I want to look at it. I want you to look at it, okay? Because when you change your research questions, okay, of course it will also affect, okay, your literature review, okay? So why is it that I ask you, okay, to change your objective? Okay, it's because when you put the question there, what is the effect of? Okay, and when I look at all the research question, you have that word effect, but here you did not looking at the effective of that program. You're looking into the factors that influence, okay, the implementation of the programs. Okay, so this is where actually that okay, you are focusing on whether that factors A is actually influence, okay, the implementation. Factors B influence the implementation. You did not looking into the effect, okay, of the communicative competence. If you're looking into the effect, okay, this is where we're looking into the research design, where we call it as experiment, okay, because effective, okay, effectiveness, that is experiment. Okay, yours, I think, okay, this is on correlational studies. Okay, looking into the relationship between two, IV and DV.
Yes, it is
All right.
correlation.
Yes. Okay, and then you must have one question. Your research question is to determine, okay, the contribution of the factors. Okay, because the word there is factors influencing. You look at which factors is influencing. So you are actually running, you were running the regression. Okay, you're running the correlation and regression here. Correlation is about the relationship, but when you're running the SPSS on regression is, you will actually look at, okay, which factors contributes most, okay, or they will come up, the outcomes will come up with the percentage. So you will actually can look at, okay, which which factors is actually contribute most, which factors contribute the second, which factors fourth, fifth, and so on. Okay, so it is required to have that to determine, okay, the factors contribution, because your title is factors influencing. All right, so I need you to check on that one as well. All right.
So, doctor, I will remove the effect from my questionnaire. Should I include influence?
I mean, you don't put influence, okay, because when it comes to the, okay, you have 5 IV and then you have 1 DV. Of course, the first question is to determine, okay, determine the level of the IV and the DV. Okay, the second question is to determine the relationship between the IV and the DV. Okay, the third research, objective is, okay, to determine, okay, the factors contributes towards the DV. Only 3 research objectives there. But when it comes to research questions, of course, you need to do it one by one. What is the level of IV1? What is the level of IV2? What is the level of IV3? And then when it comes to relationship, is there any significant, okay, between IV1 and the DV? And then the second, is there any significant between IV2 and the DV? Okay, you need to spell it out like one by one, okay, when it comes to research questions. Okay. All right, do you understand me?
Yes, doctor, thank you.
All right, that's good. Okay, the next slide, can I look at the next slide? Okay, right, I think, all right. Okay, this one is on literature review. Yes, research framework. Okay, this is, okay, there's an arrow there, but we can't see it, yeah?
Yes, right. Doctor, there is arrow.
Okay, so I think maybe you use a different color, yeah, when it comes to the arrow. Okay, and then the number 12, okay, this is the methodology. All right, research design is quantitative. Is that right? Research design is quantitative?
Yes, doctor, I will use quantitative.
Okay, it should be approach is quantitative. The approach is quantitative. The research design, probably the correlation. Okay. Research design, it cannot be quantitative. Approach is quantitative. Okay, research design is correlation. Okay, so here population sample 11,000 in Dhaka. Okay, so 11,000, this is so big, yeah, so big number, Aisha. So from this 11,000, how do you get 372 according to Cohen? Oh, okay. According to Cohen, 372. Most probably, okay, I would suggest that instead of having that population 11,000, maybe you can actually try to to make the population number smaller. Okay. If you can do it, yes. If you can do it, okay, probably, okay, the sample size will not be that big, 372. Because if it's MED, I would suggest that maximum is 200. 300 something usually is for master science. Okay, right. So if you want to make the sample size smaller, okay, you need to change the population because it will start from the population there. All right. So what is the sample strategy, sample techniques? Non-probability sampling. Why is it you use non-probability sampling?
Because in Dhaka, because I'm choosing Dhaka city, I'm not choosing Bangladeshis any others areas. That's why.
That is not the way, Aisha. Your population is Dhaka city, right? Okay, that is the population.
Yes.
All right. So in that Dhaka city, how many schools in Dhaka city?
Around 3,900.
3,900. So that is your, this is where actually that from that 3,000, how do you choose the school?
I think I will choose by reason, which are the most modern part of Dhaka city.
Okay, so meaning that in Dhaka city, there's a modern, and
then in the periphery, like in Dhaka periphery, these are not like the midpoint type of schools. They are not that sort of expensive schools.
So what types of school that you want to focus here?
Basically, I will focus here most probably the elite school and college.
Elite school. Okay, so how many elite school in Dhaka city?
It's around 300 to 400.
300 to 400 school. Okay, so the population is Dhaka city. The population here should be, okay, elite school in Dhaka city. Okay, the population.
Okay.
All right, so that is the population there. All right, and then village, it's teachers. Okay, it's teachers. So meaning that teachers in elite school, okay, in Dhaka city. All right, so that is your population. Okay, from there, okay, so how do you want to choose the teachers there?
I think it's randomly.
Yes, randomly. Yep. When it comes to quantitative, okay, it will be cluster, random, okay, not non-sampling. Non-probability, okay, convenience sampling, this is for qualitative, not for quantitative. Okay, it's not suitable. Why is it? Okay, non-probability and convenience sampling is not suitable for quantitative, everyone. Any question? Any answers? Why is it it's not suitable? Any ideas? Why is it non-probability and convenience sampling is not suitable? No ideas?
Because it cannot be generalized, the findings.
That's true, Raza. Because we can't, if it's non-probability and convenient, you can't generalize to the whole population. Okay, for quantitative is making generalization. That's why we use sample size. Okay, so that's why non-probability and convenience, okay, it's not. Okay, non-probability is different, yeah? Okay, convenience sampling is not suitable for quantitative. Non-probability, what does it mean by non-probability sampling?
Where the participants don't have equal chances to be selected.
Okay, all right. So it's the same as convenience sampling. All right. So I think it's better to choose, you choose random. Okay, but then you need to think about cluster as well. Okay, Aisha, because okay, in Dhaka city, there's a lot of school. How do you start? Of course, okay, you're choosing school. And then from school, you're choosing the teachers. Okay, how many school first? And then from each school, how many teachers? Okay, so when you have that levels, okay, of choosing, So that is, we call it as cluster. No. Stratified, sorry, stratified. Cluster is where you group everything, yeah. Stratified, okay, because there's a level. Dhaka City, a lot of schools, and then yours is actually choosing only the elite schools, right? Okay, the elite schools. And then how many elite schools that you have? How do you choose the elite school? And then how do you choose the teachers after that? Okay, so it's stratified. Okay, I see it as stratified. Okay, so instrument, okay. The questionnaire will be adapted from Nori that was produced by Lee. 5 Likert scale will be used. All right, so the questionnaire by Nori, okay, 2018, do Nori actually have or includes all the 5 variables that you have?
Yes, Dr. She has all the variables from her questionnaires. I can find all the variables like why education system. Actually, we are meaning education system, that the educational facilities, the building, the ICTs, and the teachers' facilities to conduct the classroom.
But when it comes to your IV, there's no, I mean, you're not looking into the facilities. There's no IV for facilities.
I just combine all the things in educational system.
Can you do that?
Actually, in our country, in our concept, we combine all these things in educational system. That's why I combine it. I don't know.
Is Nori is actually the context of the study, okay, that Nori use, is it in Bangladesh? I mean, is it in your states as well? I mean, in your country as well? Is it the same context?
Yes, in the same context.
Okay. So I think you just check, yeah? You just need to check whether is it really measure, okay, your variables, the 5 variables that you mentioned there, right? That you have mentioned just now. Right, so pilot study 50 students, okay, not a problem there, okay, because the minimum you need to have is 30 for your pilot study. So when you have 50, I think it's fine, okay, no problem with that. All right, so any question, Aisha, that you want to ask me?
So doctor, I will change my sampling technique to probability random. Yeah. And I have another thing is that if I remove the elite class concept, because elite class may have all the educational system, proper educational system, so my research will be restricted there. Can I just take the others non-elite also? Then it will be more easier to reflect the research.
Okay, so meaning that your population will be teachers
randomly.
I mean, population, okay. Your population will be teachers in non-elite school in Dhaka City.
Elite and non-elite, I will mess up like okay. all the teachers.
Why is it that you want, okay, so meaning that, okay, all, I mean, just schools, okay, just public, is it public school or private school?
It will be public and private both.
Can you just focus on one? I think it will be much easy if you're focused on one. If it's public, public. If it's private, private then. Instead of just do both.
Okay.
Okay, so it will be much easier to make a generalization, okay, when you focus on one group, okay, which is like public schools or the private schools, okay. You just count the number first and just think which one is the best actually to become your population. All right.
So in this way, I can mess up the elite and non-elite also, and then I will get the correct feedback that really this system is influencing or not.
Okay, all right. So, okay, as I mentioned just now, I would suggest that, okay, you focus only one sector of school, public or private. Okay, if it's CLTs, if it's CLTs actually implement in both sectors of school, should be no problem if just focus on one school. Okay, because you're not doing a comparing here. Okay, you're not doing a comparing, so you don't have any problem with that. Okay, just focus on one sector of schools, okay, public schools or private schools. All right.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
All right, thank you. Okay. Can we have next presenter, please?
sorry, Doctor, I have a question.
Yes, Vatana.
Because just now you did ask how the teacher's demographic profile will be measured, right? And according to Aisha, she mentioned that in the instrument, it covers all the factors, the questionnaire.
Yes.
So
Okay.
is it there?
This is where actually that I asked her to check. Okay, whether is that questionnaire is actually measure demographic, teacher's demographic profile. Because for me, you're not measuring the teacher's demographic profile. Okay, why is it that you want to measure the teacher's demographic profile? What does it mean by this teacher's demographic profile? This is where actually that you're looking into whether the gender, the years of trainings, okay, what kind what educations that the teachers have, okay. So all these actually you will explain it, okay, in the you will explain it in your write-ups, okay, whereby you will start with the profile, okay, explain who actually is your respondent, okay, then only you focus on your research question. So teacher's demographic profile, for me, it should not be one of the question, should not be in the question, because everyone will actually explain about the profile, okay, the demographic profile of their respondent. Who are they? How many of them? Okay, and who is this person? Is this a teacher? If it's a teacher, how many years of experience, especially okay at school? Okay, so this is all the demographic profile where you will explain who is the respondent. Okay, but when Aisha I mentioned it just now, okay, there's a questionnaire actually measure teacher's demographic profile. I'm not sure what does it mean. Okay, if the questionnaire is just like okay, name of the teachers, age of the teachers, male or female, how many years actually working experience, that is not a measurement. Okay, that is just to find out the details of the respondent. Okay, like the one that you have in the questionnaire, of course you have like 3 parts usually. If you have one IV, one DV, okay, usually when it comes to the questionnaire, you will have part A, part B, and part C. Okay, it will start part A with the demographic, okay, whereby you ask about their profile first, and then the second one will be the to measure the DV, and the third one to measure the IV. 3 parts there. Okay, so the first one, which is part A, okay, which is the demographic profile, it's not to measure the demographic profile. You just want to get information. Who are these people answering your questionnaire? That's all. The one that you measure is the part B, which is the DV, and part C is the IB. Is that clear, Vatana?
Okay, understood, Doctor.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. So can we have the third presenter, New Yuan?
Hi, Doctor.
All right.
Hello, Doctor. Hello, everyone. The title of my essay is Predictors of Job Performance Among Malaysia Employees in the Service Industry. My name is Niu Yuan. My metric number is GS57307. And my major is Human Resource of Development. And first of all, I'm talking about the background of the study. Number one is within the context of Malaysia, job burnout is a significant importance and the impact of productivity in companies in Malaysia, requiring companies to come up with various programs to address the situation and also decrease the level of turnover, which is taking place in some industries. And the number two is a major overhaul of the employment after 1955 was carried out to ensure that employees are better protected. It defines employee based on the amount of wage and on the type of occupation. It more concerned about monetary benefits such as the annual leave, sick leave, working hours, and maternity benefits, holidays. And number 3 is job burnout is one of the most common stress-related mental injuries which take place for workers. Job burnout can be described using many different methods, but all focus on the impact of job burnout in which individuals become essentially demotivated with what they are doing due to the stresses of the job. Additionally, when it comes to burnout, higher levels of burnout will impact job performance equally as well. And the next part is the problem statement. With more and more companies incorporating longer days, it is expected that job exhaustion will become an even important factor for mental health of employees. This research then provides some insight as to how some of the main factors are impacting employees in Malaysia, which is why it is being carried out. And the next part is research objectives. It contains two aspects. One is the general objective and the other is the specific objective. The general objective of this research is to determine the impact of burnout on the job with job performance. The specific objective of these studies include, first of all, to determine the level of job performance, job stress, emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and workload. Secondly, we determine the relationship between them. And the last, determine the influence of them. And the next part is theory. For job performance, its related theory is performance management. Sorry, doctor. Its related theory is performance management theory. For job burnout, its related theory is the Maslick theory of burnout. And the next part is the privacy study of job burnout. Number 1 is by John. Oh, sorry, doctor. The next part is the definition of terms. The first is job performance. For constitutive job performance has been defined as the overall expected value from employees' behaviors carried out over the course of the set period of time. And for operational, in this study, it focused on job stress, emotional exhaustion, workload, and depersonalization to improve performance. Another point is job burnout. For constitutive burnout, it's a work-related stress stream that was originally observed among those who do people work. And for operational, it can be defined as an expectation mediated job-related dysphoric and dysfunctional state in an individual without major psychopathology who has functioned for a time and adequate performance and factual levels in the same job situation and who will not recover to previous levels. And the next part is the privacy study of job performance. It has shown the facts that affect burnout, which will affect the job performance of employees. And the next part, as shown in the table, these studies have provided the influencing factors of job burnout and the effect of job burnout on job performance. And the next part is research framework. And shown in the figure, there are 4 dimensions associated with job burnout. One is job stress. Number 2 is emotional exhaustion. Number 3 is depersonalization. And number 4 is workload. They will have an impact on job performance. And the last part is the methodology. The research design is quantitative research. The population sample is service sector workers in Malaysia. Sample size is 150. Sampling technique is random sampling. The instrument, I found 2 sources in the table. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. So can we look at your first slide? Okay. What should I call you?
Or you can call me Yuki.
You?
Yuki.
Yuki?
Yes. Y-O-K-I.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yuki. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So looking at the title, Predictors of Job Performance. Okay. Among Malaysian employees in the service industries. Okay. So this is the same as Sun just now, Sun Jinwoo just now. Okay, where is the in Malaysia? Okay, so this is the same questions that I'm asking, like are you actually focusing on the whole Malaysia or only certain states of Malaysia? Again, so you need to focus, I mean you need to be specific. Okay, because when you just say Malaysian employee in service industry, okay, this is very big.
Okay.
Okay, this is very big, right?
So
what are you planning?
Sorry?
What are you planning? Okay, do you want to cover which stage? Okay, for the data collection?
I consider there some companies like Maybach or other general service companies.
So where is the company located?
So
where is it called located?
I haven't decided. I want to combine them.
You want to combine?
Them. Yeah.
What do you want to combine? Okay, the companies. Is the company, it's all in the same state?
Yes.
Okay, so which state is that?
I mean, maybe Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur, okay. So predictors of job performance, okay, among Malaysian employees, okay, in the service industries in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, okay.
So we know that, okay, this study is about Kuala Lumpur. Okay, it's not about any other states. Yeah, so be specific on that. All right, the second slide. Okay. Anyone would like to ask questions? You are feel free to do it. Okay. So here the backgrounds. Okay. So is this? How about the backgrounds? Is it okay? The background. Okay, job burnout is significant importance. Okay, requiring companies to come up with various programs. Okay, burnout is impacting. All right. So here, what I would suggest is, okay, when you say about this context of study, okay, so here this is job is not about job burnout. Okay, what you need to focus is the DV. Your DV is job performance. Job burnout is your IV. Okay, what you need to explain here in the context of your study here, okay, is the job performance in Malaysia, which is in Kuala Lumpur. Job performance in Kuala Lumpur. That is the context of your study. It's not about job burnout.
Okay.
Okay. So of course, okay, you will start with, okay, the DV. If you want to relate with the IV later, yes, you can do that as well. Okay, but you explain about the DV first. When it comes to the context of the study, okay, you explain about the DV. Okay, the DV in the context of Kuala Lumpur. Okay, in your case is among the okay, workers, right? Among the workers,
Yes.
okay, in Kuala Lumpur. So that is your context. It's not about the burnout here, because the burnout is the IV. In your write-up, okay, the same thing. You need to focus on that one as well.
Okay.
All right. Okay. The next slide. Problem statement. Okay. So what do you think about this problem statement? Is this the right problem statement?
I think we cannot find any problem.
Okay. So what is the problem? Okay, Yuki, can you please indicate where is the problem in this paragraph?
I think it's limited time, so I didn't present in my slides. So here I have some research. Malaysia's service economy remains very much under-researched, mainly because exhausting data is still deficient in terms of quality and quantity.
Okay. So what you need in this problem statement actually?
So I want to make my research to be an example or reference to help others to learn the.
Is that problem statement? What should you have for your problem statement?
I found a search from by Baker in 2008. But
okay, in problem statement, what is the problem or issues of the DV? Okay.
I think Yuki is trying to find out whether job burnout really affect job performance among workers.
It's the other way around, right, Raza?
This is only the background of the job.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, Wang. Okay. So here, what you need, Yuki, is actually, okay, what is the problem? What is the issues of your DV? What is your DV?
Job performance.
Okay, so what is the main issues in the job performance?
Okay.
Can you please explain it to me? What is the main issue in the job performance? Okay, find it out. What is the main issues of the job performance? Okay, and then you need to support it by literature review.
Okay.
All right. Okay, the next slide, please. Okay. So how about this research objective? Is it okay? Do you have any comments, everyone, on this research objective? Do you see burnout anywhere in this question? I mean, in this objective?
Or on job stress.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I don't see any job burnout here. And in your background of the study, you have burnout. In your problem statement, you have burnout. And suddenly here, I don't see burnout. Okay. So where is, but then you have here, okay, the impact of burnout. So is this job stress, emotional exhaustion, okay, and this personalization and workload is job burnout?
Okay.
Okay, I think this is not, job burnout is one of the factors.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
But
okay,
I mean, job stress and emotional exhaustion are related to job burnout.
Okay, so it means that our job stress, emotional exhaustion here, destabilization and workload is the dimension of our job burnout?
Yeah.
Is the dimension?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In measuring job burnout, okay, the dimension is the job stress, emotional, okay, exhaustions, okay, and then the dispersonalizations and workload. Am I right?
Yeah.
So your meaning that your IV it's only one.
I will have 4.
But you told me just now, I mean these 4, okay?
Yes, yes.
It's
4.
actually the dimension of job burnout. So if the job stress, emotional, and the dispensations and workload is the dimension of job burnout, okay, so meaning that you only have one IV, and not 4 IV.
Okay, okay.
So
Job
which
stress
one?
and
Which one? You have one IV with the dimension, or you have 4 IV?
4 IV.
4 IV. Okay, so the burnout should not be there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm asking you, the burnout should be there or not? Is one of the factor of not? The burnout, is it one of the factor or not?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Okay, so how
Yes.
many IV do you have, including the
I
burnout?
mean, if job burnout is one of IVs, so I have a job stress and emotional and so on as my IV. So do I have 5 IV?
Okay.
I'm confused.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking whether you only one IV with the dimension or you have 4 IV here. Okay.
So if I mention the job burnout, so job burnout must be the one of the IV. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
Okay.
Because when you have the burnout there, so it must be one of the IV. Okay, but at the same time you have job stress, you have emotional exhaustion, you have dispersonalizations and workload. Okay, so are these all dimension under the burnout, or it's actually on its own? IV1, IV2, IV3, IV4. I want you to check on that. Please, Yogi, please check on that. Why? It's because if you say that all these are actually, okay, IV on its own, yeah, you have about 4 or 5 IV here, okay, are you actually looking factors? Okay, these are all the factors, and then your DV is actually job performance. Okay, so what do you want to look here? I mean, what do you want to find here in your study? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So because I mean, if it's based on the logic, okay, that based on my thinking, just that you just want to look at the relationship might be, okay, the relationship of these job burnout with, okay, the job performance. Okay, whether burnout is actually influence the job performance or not. It's not about predicting. Is it about predicting or it's about the to look at the relationship? Okay, if the factors predicting the job performance, okay, I wonder why is it all the factors are all the negative? I mean, it's not about something good, you know?
Okay.
Okay, it's about job stress, emotional exhaustion. So this is all like negative variables, you know, towards the job performance. Anyone have any ideas, or I mean, what do you think? Measuring job performance, okay, and then you have few factors, but all the factors here, it's all like, you know, the negative variables, you know, like job burnout, job stress, okay, emotional exhaustions, and then are you actually measuring all these towards, influence the job performance, or you are actually predicting all these variables towards the job performance? Okay, that is the questions.
Okay.
All right, so you check on that. Okay, please check on that. Yes. Okay, so in terms of your research objective, yes. Okay, you have level, you have relationship, yes, and determine the factors influence, yes. Okay, so this is when I look at this, okay, it's okay, okay, but I want you to check on your IV and DV. Be careful on that. All right, please check on the IV and DV. All right, the next one. Okay, don't have any problem with it. Next one. Okay, so here you have, okay, constitutive, yes, you have operational, focus on job, okay. This is the one as well, okay, job performance. Job performance in this study focus on job stress, emotion, exhaustion. Is this operational definition? The right operational definition? What is the definition of job performance in your study? What does it mean by job performance?
This one, so
okay, that is based on the scholar. Your definition in the study?
It focuses on the, so I have to define
your own definition
in my study. Okay.
Your own definition of job performance. Okay, so this one, job burnout, this is the one that you need to check, yeah? Double check, okay, everything on the IV. All right, the next one. All right, okay, just, okay, to find, all right. So the next slide, please. Next slide. Research framework, okay, here. See, if you put it this way, Yuki, it seems like job burnout have 4 dimensions.
Okay.
So is it dimension or is it factors? Okay, if it's dimension, then what you are actually, okay, doing in your research is actually, okay, looking at the relationship between job burnout and job performance.
Okay.
Okay, so please check on that one. Okay, double check. All right. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, quantitative. Okay, quantitative is approach. What is the research design? What is the research design? How many research design that we have in research in quantitative studies, everyone? Do you remember your research method class? What are the design? You have
maybe
what?
a correlation.
Correlation.
Design and correlation, yeah.
Yes, and then you have descriptive. Remember? You have experimental. That is all design. Okay, that is all design. All right. So which one that you use here? Which design that you use here? Okay, if it's correlation, according to Shannon just now, yes, it's okay. It's suitable. Okay. Population sample, okay, you need to be specific, yeah, Kuala Lumpur. Okay, how many population in Kuala Lumpur? You need to have a figure there. Okay, you need to have a figure how many population in Kuala Lumpur. Then only you can decide on the sample size. If you don't know the population, how do you get that 150? Okay, so, okay, you need to know exactly the population. All right. And then instrument, okay, so I will ask you to check on your IV. So I think you need to check on that one first. Okay, then only when you have decided on the IV, then only you decide on the instrument. All right.
Okay.
Okay, any question? Okay.
So far, I don't have a question.
All right. Okay. So do you know what you have to do, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you,
All
Doctor.
right. Okay, thanks. Okay. So can we have the last presenter? We have Yi Ji Yu Tong. Oh, okay. You're doing qualitative. All right.
Yes.
Okay. You can start. What should I call you?
You can call me Kenna.
Kenang?
Yes, Kenna.
Kenna. Kenna or Kenang?
Kenna.
Kenang. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Hello everyone, I'm Jiruto. My topic is analysis and implementation of innovative mechanism of knowledge workers. First of all, I want to talk about the background of my research. There are a lot of research on the incentive measures and needs of knowledge workers in the world. However, the research on knowledge workers in China is relatively less. In 1980, China began to implement the family planning policy. Each family has only one child. This leads to the younger generation of China will face greater pressure in life. After China's taxation, the World Trade Organization, the core competitiveness of enterprise will focus on knowledge research. FAST project is a major science and technology project in China, but due to unreasonable talent recruitment strategies, there is no one participation in this project. Today's topic also with the current requirement semester for science and technology tends in 2018. The results show that only 3% of the total weight agrees that the semester is reasonable and 96% of total weight think that the semester is unreasonable. It can be seen that China's human resource management does not understand the needs of contemporary younger knowledge workers. What is the main issue of my research? Also, there's a lot of research on the motivation of knowledge workers. There is a lack of calibrated dissection on the actual needs of knowledge workers of different ages. Under the
Okay,
background,
wait, Kenna. Can you please explain, not reading? Okay, explain to us. Okay, don't read your slide. What do you want to do? Explain to us.
Because in China, after 1980, have the policy of the family planning and the Chinese section, the World Trade Organization. So the used way of the knowledge workers is not suitable for now. Actually, I want to research for what kind of incentive semester will be more useful to motivate knowledge workers at this time. This is the significance of my study. On the one hand, effective incentive mechanism can help knowledge workers to realize their self-worth. On the other hand, an effective incentive semester can help enterprises achieve their profit goals. The goal of my study is through the research and analysis of characteristics and the needs of Chinese young knowledge workers born after 1980 and those born before 1980 to improve the exciting incentive semester and fair the game in the research on the work needs of younger workers. Besides the literature reward and the research on the motivation factors of knowledge workers, this paper will not establish accurate assumptions but determine the substantive errors, but the assumptions and ideas of the incentive mechanism of knowledge workers, we call it hypothesis. This is the four hypotheses of my research. There is a four motivation series. As for a characteristic of knowledge workers, three Chinese scholars found that they have the characteristic of autonomy and independence, innovation, and openness. For young knowledge, great endurance, poor mention, accept risk, and easy to accept new things. The data collection machine of the study will be one by one structured in deep interval using Unwave software for data analysis, and the pilot test will be conducted before the interval plan. It's just a design of the interval. This is a relevant data of the policy test, which is a comparison between the coding analysis and the respondents and the coding reference point of Unwave. According to the coding and analysis of the interval polity content, it can be concluded that the intervals think that their most instant demand factors are social security, salary, work environment. Besides on the demand, the interval also hope to get the certain sense of achievement from their work. In addition, the results of the interval were consistent with the initial hypothesis. Thanks, that's my speech.
Okay, thank you, Kanan. First slide, please.
Yes.
Can you show me your first slide? Okay. First of all, are you doing qualitative or quantitative?
I do qualitative research.
Okay, you're doing qualitative, right?
Yes.
If you're doing qualitative, why you have
Yes.
hypothesis? Can you please answer that? Oops. Yeah.
Hello, doctor. I think my internet have some problem.
Oh, is it? Okay. So if you're doing qualitative, okay, why is it that you have hypothesis?
Actually, I just want do some think before I do some guess before I do the interview. Because I say I do the analytical reward, and there's many option is not the same. So I want to do some guess by myself.
Okay, in qualitative, we don't have that. We don't have hypothesis in qualitative.
Okay.
All right. So, and then, okay, look at the topic. What actually that you want to explore? I can't get it.
Actually, I want to research that what's the need of the China's younger knowledge workers.
What do you mean by knowledge workers here?
For the knowledge workers, actually, I found a lot of determine. Some determine is about the concept meaning refer to a specific manager or executive manager. But no, I think the scope of the knowledge worker is more like whose present peak capital in knowledge, and because the China situation, so I determine the knowledge workers is referred to who have bachelor degree or above and engaged in knowledge related work.
So who actually that you interview? Is it these knowledge workers?
Yes, I choose the interview for the those person work in China and has a master degree or above and have a 3-year
Any
work.
specific industries?
Actually, I want to choose some workers. Their work is have some relation for the knowledge, such as doctor, also.
Okay, so is that what you want to interview? Is that who actually that you want to interview?
For my parity test, I choose a person. She's a doctor and has a master degrees.
Okay. So is the doctor is a knowledge worker?
Yes, because the doctors, they also need some innovation for their workers.
Okay, all right. So, okay, if that is what you're actually looking at, okay, knowledge workers, all right. So I would actually suggest that you specific to industries, okay, because this is about incentive, yeah, incentive, meaning that they are satisfied with the salary or not. Am I right?
Yeah.
For example, okay. So if it's a doctors, okay, and then you interview teachers or you interview other knowledge workers, okay, their incentive is different. Okay, so I would suggest that you focus on certain industries, okay, so that you are interviewed the same people in the same industries. I mean, different people in the same industry, different people in the same industries. If you focus on different people in a different industry, okay, each of them, okay, have a different context, okay, of job environment. They have a different context, okay, when it comes to salary, you know, it's not the same. All right. So
yes.
the interview, then it will be a bit difficult for you to do your teams, okay, because everybody actually, okay, have a different context, okay, when it comes to their jobs.
Yes.
All right. So, okay, look at your research. I mean, the purpose of the study just now. Okay, what actually that you want to explore? Okay, what actually that you want to explore?
The purpose of the research, I want to find the
but here you put it
people-
as young workers. Just now you say it's knowledge workers. So which one actually that you
Yes.
want to focus on, young workers or knowledge workers?
Actually, I want to focus on young knowledge workers and the no old knowledge workers.
Okay, meaning that young knowledge workers. So that is your respondent.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so what do you want to know about them?
I want to know what actually the needs of the young people when they work, because I'm a human resource of management. So that is a very important point for my studies. I think so.
Yes, but here, okay, what do you want to explore? What do you want to explore?
I wanna
I know
explore.
it's something to do with incentive, the one that you mentioned just now. So what do you want to explore
Yes.
about this incentive?
I want to explore because the situation is different with the tradition, and I want to know what kind of semester will be more useful to motivate knowledge workers. No.
Okay. What is that again just now? Okay, I can't get it. What is the?
I want to find which needs is the knowledge workers need to know, and then I can find the useful semester to motivate the knowledge workers.
Motivate them. How incentive
Yes.
motivate them? Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay. Because it is still not clear what you want to do when it comes to these qualitative studies, okay? Because qualitative is different from quantitative. Okay, quantitative is testing, yeah? Qualitative is
Yes.
explore. So when you say you want to focus on specific topics, okay, this is where actually that, okay, you are actually doing exploration. Okay, so when you said that exploration in these incentive systems, okay, look at the topic again just now. Okay. Incentive mechanisms. Okay. So in these incentive mechanisms, okay, what do you want to explore? Okay. Of these incentive mechanisms for knowledge workers. What do you want? What do you are looking at? Do you have any idea? What do you want to look at in this incentive mechanism?
Because now the China's the semester is more focused on that the knowledge workers do some
Yes.
The queries such as the FAST, the project, there no one want to work in there, not because this project, this work can't help them. It's because the salary is very lowly. Yes.
Okay, so you want to explore whether they're satisfied with the incentive or not. Is that what you want to look at?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to know what? Okay, when it comes to this incentive mechanism, what do you want to know about this incentive mechanism? Okay, whether they're satisfied or not.
Yes.
Okay, and then what else?
I want to do a deep interval to find what's the younger China knowledge workers, what things actually they want.
Okay, what actually that they want? What do you mean by
Yes.
what actually that they want? In terms of what?
They want the good environment is first important, or the salary, or the relationship of the other workers. Or
So are you doing qualitative or you want to do quantitative here? When you say relationship is quantitative.
I want to do the qualitative.
Okay, you want to do qualitative, yes. Okay,
Yes.
all right. So the focus is on incentive mechanism among the young knowledge workers.
Yes.
All right. So the first thing, okay, the purpose of the study, okay, is actually, okay, to understand. Is it true to understand?
Yes.
Okay, to understand what?
To understand what's the action needs of the knowledge workers.
All right, okay, and then the second one?
The second one is besides and their needs to find some more useful incentive mechanism.
Okay, and then any other else? Anything?
No.
No, only two.
Yes.
Okay, like this one, yeah, Kenny. I think, okay, you need to very details when it comes to qualitative. Okay, qualitative is actually exploration. Okay, so when it comes to exploration, is actually what do you want to explore? Okay, if you say that, okay, it's incentive mechanism, this is very broad. Okay, so this is why I'm asking you, what do you want to know about this incentive mechanism? What do you want to explore on this incentive mechanism? So if you know what actually that you want to explore in this incentive mechanism, okay, it will actually, okay, you will have questions, okay, research questions, okay, what do you want to explore? So in this quantitative as well, okay, when it comes to research question, you must have a research question that start from why and how. Okay, you can have might be what, okay, what is the incentive mechanism among the knowledge workers? And the second one might be you start from why, okay, and then the third one might be how, okay, because in qualitative, okay, you must have question, what, okay, why, and you also can have how. Okay, so in doing it, okay, so we know that, okay, there's a level. You ask what is actually to understand might be, but when it comes to why and how, this is where the exploration start. Okay, so you need to have that in your research question.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, and qualitative don't have hypothesis.
Okay.
All right, so you must remove the hypothesis because in qualitative we don't have hypothesis.
Okay.
Okay, there's no hypothesis at all. And in qualitative we has purpose of the study, okay, which is the same as, okay, research objective, not research objective. The purpose of the study is the general objective, okay, which is in qualitative we put it as purpose of the study. What is the purpose of the study? To explore what? Okay, and then research question. Okay, research question. Okay, then only you have, okay, the three research questions that I mentioned. Maybe you have one question that start with what, second question might be that start with why. Okay, so because you only MED, okay, I don't think you need that how, okay, or might be you just focus on why and how, you don't have what, okay, so it's up to you, okay, which one that you want to focus on. Okay.
Okay.
So right. Can you just show your slide one by one so that I can just look at it?
Okay.
Wow, it's only almost 11 o'clock. Okay. So this one, okay, your focus just now is actually incentive, right? So
Yes.
so here is to explain to tell the stories of this incentive mechanism in China. China is your context of the studies, yeah, among young knowledge workers. So you explain that in the background of the studies. All right. Okay, and then the next one. Okay, background. Okay, so this is the same. Okay, background of the study is the same. All right, and then next. Okay, this is the same as, why is it that you have FAST here? FAST project. How is this FAST project relate with the incentive mechanisms that you are doing?
Because that's the reason why I choose this topic. Because FAST project is a very famous project in China, but it faces the problem of no one want to join that just because they don't give the.
Okay, so if that is the case, then this is the real background of the studies, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is the one that you should focus on when it comes to background of the studies, because it starts from this FAST that you mentioned just now. Okay, whereby it's relate with the problem of statements after that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next. All right, so this is what is the problem of the incentive mechanism among the young knowledge workers? So you focus on that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 6. Okay. Significant. Yes, I think this is fine. Okay. 7. Research objective. Okay. In qualitative, we have the purpose of the studies. You must have here purpose of the studies and research question. Only these two.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Next. All right. Research question, remove this. Okay, you don't need research hypothesis in these qualitative studies. Okay, next slide. Incentive theories. Okay, this is fine. Okay, number 10. Previous studies. Okay, knowledge workers. Creative. Okay, this is where you try to find literature review that actually related to the incentive mechanism just now, especially in China.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So focus on that. Okay, so what is the characteristic of knowledge workers? Oh, okay. Is that your research question?
Yes.
Okay, the second one, your research question is the second research question. What is the character? Okay, what is the characteristic of knowledge workers? Okay, the next one. What is the motivation of knowledge workers? Okay. So research question 1 and research question 2, how does it relate with the incentive mechanism?
The research questions. I
want you to check on that one. Okay, because not so many students are doing qualitative here. Okay, so you can't see the examples, okay, from your friends.
Yes.
Okay? So most probably, okay, you can just we can just email me, or you can just WhatsApp me personally, okay, when you do the changes, so that if you don't understand, I can explain it to you. Okay. Because it seems like you don't really understand in doing this qualitative research.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay, we have finished 4 students, okay, presenting, and of course when it comes to this first week, okay, it will actually take quite a bit of time, because there's so many things actually that I will actually comment and give suggestions, okay, on the according to the formats, okay. This is because, okay, maybe you're not familiar and you don't know what actually that you want to put in, okay, or you want to explain, okay, in your presentations. So from these 4 presentation, I guess you already know what actually that you need to have in your slides, yeah. What you need to present to me when it comes to these research ideas, okay, for the first presentations, okay. So that's why, okay, it will not take that long. It's only like 5 minutes, yeah. If you can do it in 5 minutes, that would be so good, okay, because you are actually, if you know about this terms of pitching, yeah, pitching. So you are doing a pitching here, okay, pitching your research ideas, okay. That's why it's 5 minutes, only 5 minutes, okay. But many of you here, okay, many of you are actually take longer than 5 minutes is because, okay, you are not explaining, you're not doing the pitching, okay, you are actually reading the slides, okay. So that's why it takes longer actually, okay. So what you need to actually really understand what you want to do and explain it in 5 minutes, what you want to do, okay. So if you really know what you want to do, okay, then, okay, I think, okay, you're able to explain it in 5 minutes, okay. If you want to have maybe 1 or 2 minutes, okay, more, maybe it's still fine, okay. But if it's more than 10 minutes, okay, so that is too long, yeah, that is too long, because this is just a research ideas, okay. You need to to present it in 10 minutes, okay. That's too long, because, okay, in the second presentation that is a bit long. I mean, it will be 10 minutes, so just a bit more details of what you need to explain it here. All right, so any questions, everyone? Okay, something that you still don't understand and still not clear? Sometimes I'm a bit worried actually, because looking at these first few presentations, okay, there's a lot of things that you need to change and do amendments here, okay. So, but whatever it is, okay, you just refer to your supervisor as well, okay, discuss with your supervisor, okay, whether, is it okay for you to change according to my comments, because I'm here, it's just comment your work, okay. So, it's actually up to your supervisor, okay, and then you need to have the discussion with your supervisor. All right, if your supervisor said maintain that, then I don't have any power to say anything. All right, but for me, when I look at your slides here, okay, I think there's a lot of things that need to be done and need to be changed here, okay, which is so that it will be in line with the studies that you want to do, okay, whether it's qualitative or whether it's quantitative. Right, so can you stop sharing, Hanan?
Okay.
All right, okay, so any question, everyone? So next week, okay, who will be presenting next week? Okay, let me check the names here. Presentation. Okay, so we have Liu Ming. Are you here, Liu Ming?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Okay, your turn will be next week. Wang Sheng Kun. All
yes,
right.
doctor.
Okay, Ratika. Okay.
Yes, doctor.
All right,
I'm
and then
here.
we have Zhang Shengnan. Okay, and then we have Saranjit. Okay, Saranjit.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, and as well as Noran.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so we have 5 presenters next week. Okay, so I think you already understand, okay, what actually that you need to present, yeah, according to the presentation today, right? So any question, everyone, before we finish our class? No, anything that is still not clear, that you still don't understand? Raza, okay. Right, whatever that I've comment here, okay, for the improvements, okay, I hope that, okay, you don't feel sad, yeah, you don't feel sad, okay, you don't feel down, okay, demotivated or whatever it is, okay, it is just that, okay, I'm helping you here to improve your research proposal, okay. So this is where actually a platform for you, okay, to learn and as well as to do changes in whatever that you need to do. Okay, so I'm helping you. It's not about try to find a mistake here, no. Okay, so it is the same thing as well. I hope that next time, okay, it is not only me who do the comments. I actually you can as well, all of you can as well give your suggestions, give your comments. All right, so because you have taken research method class, okay, so apply all that research method, okay, knowledge that you have learned, okay, last semester or semester before that, okay, by looking at all the presentation here. What do you think of it? Okay, what is it? Thank you. Really learn a lot. Always look forward for your class. Okay, thanks Ain. Okay, Ratika, thank you. Okay, Sun Jinmil, okay, please check, okay, please do all the changes, okay, based on the comments. Okay, Raza, a lot of, okay, thank you Raza as well. Okay, Noran, okay, Noran will be next week. Okay, hopefully we can see a lot of presentation will be back much better next week. Okay, and then we have Shengnan. Thank you Shengnan. Okay, that's all I think. All right, I think everybody already tired. Okay, so that's all. All right, thank you so much everyone. Okay, I'll try my best to help, okay, all of you in doing the research, especially those who are in the final semester. I'm a bit worried those in the final semester, because when the things are not that right, okay, so it will affect, might be, okay, your findings later and also the write-ups, right? Because this is chapter 1 to 3. If chapter 1 to 3 is not right, how do you want to write chapter 4 and 5, okay? So it will be difficult for you if you want to finish the whole dissertation, which is chapter 1 to 5. Right, so that's all. Thank you so much again. So I see all of you next week. Okay, bye-bye. Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right.